Jamal Murray was not suspended for throwing objects from the bench onto the floor during the second quarter of Monday night's Game 2, but he was fined $100,000 after T-Wolves coach Chris Finch called Murray's actions dangerous and inexcusable. Murray first threw a towel that didn't quite make it onto the floor. Then he fired a heating pad across the floor into live play, and obviously a player could have slipped on said heating pad. Crew chief Mark Davis said he did not see Murray throw either the towel or the pad, or the actions would have been reviewed as a potential hostile act and judged on whether the intent was to throw the towel or the pad at a referee. So, Keyshawn, were you okay with the $100,000 fine?
No, I really wasn't, me personally. And I like Jamal Murray. I like to watch him play. But I think they should have suspended him. I do. I honestly do. And the reason that is not because I want Denver to lose a series or nothing like that. I'm looking at the safety of the players, the safety of the referee.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at the video on the towel, if the referee all of a sudden decides to retreat down the court and takes a step back to take off, and he slips on the towel, he's probably going to bust his face wide open. So let's start there.
All right.
Now when you look at the heating pack, everybody's focused in on Cat, if he gets hurt. But your own star MVP player is right there. Reggie Jackson kicks the pad slightly under Cat's foot. But Reggie Jackson could have fell on that as well. He could have kicked it under your star player, Joker. Joker could have came down on it, slipped, and fell.
I'm gonna let this play, but I just want to say something real fast. Let's be very clear. Even if it was a paper cup, he should be suspended. You can't throw items at a ref or on the court. Even if there was zero risk of anyone getting injured, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't throw items on the court or at a referee, no matter what. Even if it was just there was zero chance of anyone getting injured. I mean, think about what we're saying. It's insane, absolutely insane. Okay, if someone threw a crumpled up piece of paper at the referee in the stands, they would be thrown out and probably banned from the arena. And there's zero risk that anyone can get hurt from having a crumpled up piece of paper thrown at them. You can't do that. Okay? You can't do that. So it's just insane. The fact that Gobert got a $100,000 fine just for doing that, and Murray gets the same fine, is insanity to me. Absolute, utter insanity.
Understand, it would have been more severe if somebody gotten hurt. But you know me, Skip, I am a what-if guy. What if that had happened? What if? And I know the league says, well, nothing happened, and seriously, we just go $100,000. I don't care about the money aspect of it. What hurts the most is if you take his ass off the field of the court, then he hurts his team. And now you sit there and you got to be reminded of this all the time. When you down 3-0, when you down 4-0 and you at home, you got to be reminded of this, because they're going to keep saying the reason you're not playing. You're not playing is because of what happened. And the what-if factor is huge, man. That dude could have slipped and fell, ripped his knee open. Your own guy, the MVP, could have slipped and fell. Your role player, Reggie Jackson, could have slipped and fell and hurt him. Like, you got to think of it out. Everybody's thinking about Cat. Or are they thinking about he's just getting back at the referee. Plus, not only that, he also gave the referee the money sign, something that I guess you're not supposed to do.
It's supposed to be an automatic.
Yeah. So he did that real slick and quick. If you didn't see it, he did it real fast.
Did Gobert do it?
Yes.
Gobert did it and got hit. Gobert did it, they caught him, but they didn't catch him do it because he did it fast and quick. But just all of those things, and yes, maybe the things that he did in the game was frustration because he was being locked down. He's in witness protection over the last 2 games, so he's kind of like, his mind is somewhere else.
It is.
And he's frustrated. But he should have been suspended, Skip and Rick. That's just my opinion.
I agree. Steph Curry has, and as we showed the video, he's chucked his mouthpiece 3 times. He was in the game and chucked his mouthpiece 3 times.
At the scores table.
I was gonna say,
Scores
he didn't
table
throw it at the
once, in the
official.
direction of the referee once. Jordan Poole got him upset, and he whipped it again. I think he nearly hit one of the, in this case, or one of these cases was near a fan. But he was ejected from the game in every single one of these instances. And what I don't really understand is that the Minnesota Timberwolves made Mark Davis and the referees aware of what Jamal Murray had done in the course of the game. And they did not go back to look at video to see what happened, because
they can go back?
I mean, they do for everything else. So if they considered it a unsportsmanlike act, I mean, they go back and look at video. If somebody gets hit in the face, they'll go back and say, okay, wait, what exactly happened there? Let's figure it out. They didn't go back, because if they had addressed this in this game, we wouldn't be facing this situation. The penalty, based on previous instances of guys throwing things, Steph Curry being Exhibit A, is you get tossed out of the game. So if you don't get tossed out of the game for this game, then shouldn't you be missing the next game? That's where it takes you. Now, I can't help but feel that, you know, the league likes to look at this and say justice is blind, and we're not taking into consideration where we are in the series and the competitive effect that this would have. But Reggie Jackson rolled his ankle in the last game. I will be surprised if he plays in Game 3. You take Reggie Jackson out and you suspend Jamal Murray, Game 3 is a wrap.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
And you can't tell me that that's not influencing. Let's just hit him with a big fine.
Could be right.
It's not a big fine. Here's the thing. It's nothing to them. Anyway, let's be clear here too. It's a disgrace that all of us at home watching on TV sees what happens, and yet the NBA is like, we can't do anything about it. Like, the big guys who make all the money, who run the actual NBA, right? The people that no one even really knows their names, are all watching. They're either at home watching, they're in the offices, they're at headquarters, whatever it is. They can see what happens. The fact that they can't reach out to the officials and say, hey, this is what happened. We have a player who threw objects onto the court. He has to be ejected. He should have been ejected at least at halftime. Like, I understand if in that moment they didn't eject him, even though the Timberwolves brought it to their attention, which is still absurd because the refs should have done that. But I understand, you know, the refs on the court can make mistakes. I used to be a ref. It happens. There's a lot going on, a lot going on. And I could understand that when someone else is yelling, you said, hey, he threw something on the court. And you're like, yeah, whatever. Look, there's just too much going on. I could understand that. That's why you have headquarters who are sitting in their nice cushy seats. They can see what's going on. They're not being influenced by the crowd and other players and other coaches. It's just a group of people who are like, hey, let's take a look and see what happened. Oh, yeah, wow, look what happened. He needs to be ejected. Yeah, okay, make the call. That's what they do. That's what you should be able to do. That's what the NFL does. That's what other sports do. That's what F1 does. That's what soccer does. Like, that's what they do. The NBA is like, oh, well, we didn't review it in that time. Nothing we can do about it. And this is what I said, what Rick Bucher said. This is what I said, you know, the other day. If they just if they just threw him out of the game, then there would be less pressure to suspend him this game. But the fact that he was not ejected from that game and not suspended, it's just an utter disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And again, it doesn't matter to me. First of all, the intent doesn't matter to me. Because Rashee Rice, his intent wasn't to get into a car accident or injure someone. He still deserves repercussions. You know, just because no one got injured doesn't mean that he still doesn't deserve repercussions. Just because his history of not doing this doesn't mean anything. So this whole thing is insane. There's no excuse. There's no logical rebuttal to him not getting suspended. None. I mean, I understand about the money, and I understand about you know, the competitiveness, and this is an entertainment company. So at the heart of it, I don't want to see Jamal Murray get suspended. I want to see him play in game 3 and get destroyed on the court. That's what I want to see. Because now as a fan, I'm angry. I'm actually angry. And so now I watch and I go, and I know he's not actually a lowlife, but I'm just thinking in, you know, in just short term, that guy's a lowlife. I want to wreck him. I want to see him get absolutely destroyed. I want him playing game 3 in Minnesota, and I'm a Minnesota fan, and I'm screaming now. Every time he touches the ball, boos. We are going to make him hate his life for the next, you know, few hours. That's what I'm thinking. And so that'll be fun to watch. And believe me, the Timberwolves are all aware of everything. And they are going to disrupt him just nonstop. So that'll be exciting. But sometimes you have to separate what's entertaining and what's right. And I am someone who firmly believes in what's right and what's wrong. And what he did was flat out wrong. And there needs to be real repercussions. In the NBA, where someone can just get a technical for staring or for clapping. You know, Jason Tatum one time got a foul and he went and he got a technical. This Jamal Murray throws multiple items onto the court of live gameplay at a referee where multiple players now kick this item in the playoffs. And there's no actual repercussions because a $100,000 fine is not an actual repercussion. Not at all. He makes more than $100,000 in a single game. Way more than that. So, like, what are we talking about here? That's like if you get paid, you know what, $1,000 a week. Let's say you make $1,000 a week. It's equivalent to you getting paid, you know, you getting like a $10 fine, a $1 fine. That's nothing. It's literally nothing. He'll probably be able to write it off on his tax return, quite honestly. Seriously, he probably will be. It'll be considered an expense. He'll be able to write it off in his taxes. The whole thing is just absurd to me, and it really is a disgrace. And you know, I used to really push back when people would be too hard on the refs and the NBA about it being fixed or this or that. I mean, when you see things like this, you're just like, what type of product are you putting out? What type of product are you putting out? And then I always laugh when they always say, it's about the children. It's about the children. Okay, sure. Whatever you want to say. Whatever lies you want to tell yourselves. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Do you think Murray should be suspended? Do you think, nope, $100,000 fine is right? Do you think that the NBA should be able to eject him, you know, in that game at halftime when the headquarters is able to see what happens, just like everyone else? Let me know in the comments below whether you agree with me or disagree with me. I read every single comment. So let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the algorithm and the visibility. I cannot talk today. Thank you so much, and see you next time.